Section 4.5, the area of a circle. Just a reminder that the area of a circle is the space inside of the circle, just like the area of a rectangle and a triangle are the area inside of the rectangle and a triangle. To recap, we have already done circumference of a circle, and that is different than the area of a circle. If you look at the shape here on the side, the blue dotted line around the outside indicates that the circumference or the perimeter around a circle. It'd be like building a fence around a shape. The blue would be the circumference or the fence you'd be building around the circle. The area of the circle is the inside of the circle, indicated here by the yellow area. So if you see the yellow part of the circle, that's what we're focusing on now, not the circumference. The equation that we're going to use for area of a circle is area is equal to pi times radius squared. Now, the squared, or that little 2 there, is also the one that you'll see at the end of centimeters squared, millimeters squared, meters, kilometers squared. We use that in this case as an exponent. We haven't done exponents yet, so I'm going to do a quick little mini lesson on what an exponent is. What is an exponent? Anytime you see a little number off of a letter or a number, in this case the examples I've used were 5 squared or r squared, usually in centimeters squared, you'll multiply the large number or letter representing a number, in this case we use the r, by itself as many times as the exponent or little number indicates. So up here it says r squared, so down here I've set it up with the r. So r squared equals r times r. So r squared means you're going to multiply r, and you're going to do it as many times as the little number tells you to. If that was a 4, it would be r times r times r times r. But all we're going to worry about right now is squaring a number, and when you square a number, r squared, you multiply r by itself twice. Another way to show that is with 5, the other example I used. So 5 squared is the same thing as 5 times 5, or 25. So you'll notice that 5 squared is the same thing as 5 times 5, and 5 times 5 is 25. Therefore, 5 squared equals 25. Another example is 7. If I were to square 7, it's the same thing as 7 times 7, and 7 times 7 is 49. Therefore, if 7 squared is 7 times 7, and 7 times 7 is 49, 7 squared equals 49. So whenever you square a number, or you're asked to, you have an exponent of 2, you're taking the little number, and you're multiplying the big number by itself that many times. 7 squared, 7 2 times. Multiplying by 7 2 times. 7 times 7 is 49. So now that we're a little bit familiar with exponents, in this case we're only going to be worrying about squaring things, we're going to move on to the equation to find the area of a circle. Again, the area is the inside, so we're only concerned about the inside of this circle. Area is equal to pi, and we've already discussed that pi is equal to 3.14 for our case, in our situation. Is pi multiplied by r squared. And if you remember BEDMAS, brackets, exponents, division, multiplication, addition, subtraction. So we have to do our exponents in this equation first. And going through the steps that we've talked about already, one is write out the equation. Well, we've got our equation right there. Area equals pi times radius squared. The second part to that is replace what you know, which means take all the information that the picture has given you and put it into the equation. In this case, we know that pi is 3.14. We know the radius they've given us is 4 centimeters, so I have replaced pi with 3.14 multiplied by, I've replaced my radius, or the r, with 4. So that's pi, 3.14 times 4 squared. Well, first things first, we need to do the math. So solve your equation now, do the math. Well, 4 squared is the same thing as 4 times 4, which gave us 16. So now we have 3.14 times 16. And when we do our multiplication, 3.14 times 16 equals 50 and 24 hundredths centimeters squared. So based on this circle here with a radius of 4, its area is 50 and 24 hundredths centimeters squared. So here's your practice question. Again, I've given you the three steps that we've talked about in class. 1, write out the equation. 2, replace what you know. And 3, solve or do the math. Remember, you need to use BEDMAS for this. You should be doing your exponents before your multiplication. And I want you to take note of the 14 millimeters in the middle when you're completing your equation.